I'm going to be making a tray today using these Halloween rubber stamps. So I've got that one there that's got house and trees, and it's got a little tombstone, some bats, a witch. So I'm going to be using that one, and I'm also going to be using a couple of trees from this tree one with these crows and things. So that's those two I'll be using later. And I'm going to be using Magic Pour today to make the base for me to stamp on. So I'm going to start off just by going around the outside with some mica powder. I've got the purple from the chrome powder set and the black from the normal mica range. I'm going to start with the purple, and I'm just going to, let me get a little spoon. And then I'm just going to add some of this around the outside first. I'm not sure how much of this that the mica, that the Magic Pour will pick up, but we'll see when we demold it at the end. Right, so I think just a little bit more of the purple. I think I'd have rather more of the purple than the black. So a bit more of that into there. And then I'll do the same with the black one. And just add, oopsie daisies, add some of that. Let's use a spoon. Just use some of that down into there. And hopefully we'll get a nice effect. Right, that would do, I think. And then I'm just going to brush in all this powder now around the outside. So I'll do this and then I'll come back to you once this is finished. This is all ready now, and I've mixed up some of the Magic Pour, which is a 3-to-1 casting powder, and it's mixed by weight. So I'm just going to start off just by slowly pouring it into this outside edge. Lots of little details for it to flow into there. And then once it's found all its way around the edge, I'll just top up section in the middle, and then we'll have a nice blank canvas to stamp on once it's demolded. So just topping this all up. It's not going to matter if it doesn't come right to the top, which it doesn't, but that'll be fine. There we go. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a tap. Table a bit. Right, so we'll leave this to cure, and then I'll see you back for demold. This is all cured up now, so let's pop it out and see how it's looking. Comes out nice and easy. Pop that to one side. Right. Oh wow, that's picked up that powder. Lovely. Love that. Very nice. Right, okay, so now we can get stamping. So I think we'll start with the house and pop that onto there. Hopefully that square's big enough. Should be. Just about. And then ink that one up. And I'm using the Stays On jet black ink. So let's position this one. So I think I want this to be roughly maybe off to one side a little bit. So place that down there. Push that down firmly. Lift that one off. Right, I've missed a bit in the middle there, so I think what I'm going to do is, save trying to fill it in, I'll use a Posca pen and just sort of fill in that detail in the middle there. Just add some of that detail there. There, I think that would be okay. Right, so next, let's take that one off of there. And I think I want to do a tombstone over here. So let's get this tombstone, pop that on there, and then ink that one up. And then I think we'll have this down. Oh, I need to put that lower. Let's put that right down the bottom there. And then I've got enough room. So we'll put that one, let's put that one there. Oh, I twisted that bit. Hopefully that will still be okay. Lift that one off. Yep, that's lovely. Right, so next I think we want some trees. So I'm going to use this tree here to start with. Pop that onto my acrylic block. And then we're going to stamp that one up. And I want this one to be behind the house and the tombstone. So I've stamped on a piece of paper and I'm just going to lay that over the top of the house, and also with the little tombstone. I've got one cut out of that as well. It's curving up a bit. Let's just bring that over. Place that back there. And then when I stamp the tree, it should stamp behind both of those. So let's put this one, let's put that there. Stamp that down. Lift that up. There, so that tree is now behind our tombstone and our house. So I think we could do with another tree down there. So I might have to stamp this one and put it down by hand maybe. Let's see if I can do that, because I can't get my acrylic block in there. So let's see if I can do it without the block. Right. Okay, it's going to be a bit tricky, but right, where do I want it? Maybe about there. Put that down there. Give that a push down. And then carefully lift that back off. Let's push down that bit further. Let's try that. Bit there. Right, okay, that worked. And then I think we'll add this tree. Should we have that tree or that tree? Let's have, no, that one's too small. Let's have that one there, I think. Yes, let's put this tree over in that corner. So pop that onto my block. It needs to go the other side. So pop that to that far edge there. And then stamp that one up. And then we pop this one down. Oh, we're gonna, no, I'm not gonna get it in there. Let's just get it as far as we can in there. So let's put that one there. Oh, it's not gone down there. Just have to give that a little wiggle. Yep. Right, let's see if we can get that one in there. And then lift that one off. That's okay. Right, so next I think there's a skull in here somewhere. Have we got a skull? Yeah, we've got a skull and a pumpkin. Let's have a skull around the back of that tombstone maybe. So I'm going to, let's see if I've got a smaller block. Right, so I've got that on a smaller block, so I'm just going to ink up that skull there, but then I want it to be poking around the back of the tombstone. So let's put that blank back over the top of there, and then I can stamp over the top of that. Let's put that, oops, right, don't move. Let's put that there. That little rock. Oops, didn't get that all of it. Right, okay, that would do. It's sort of a bit off, but that's okay. Right, next, I think I use this little witch next. So let's get that one off of there and stamp her up. See if she fits on there. Yes, I think so. Right, let's get her stamped. And then let's have her flying over the tree towards the house. So let's pop her there. Push that down. Lovely. And I think there's a moon in here. Yes, there is. Let's use the moon as well. Pop that on there. Stamp that one up. Let's pop that. Use the higher bit there. Let's pop that there. Push that down. And then lift that one off. Right, okay, so I think that's all the stamping that I want to do. So next, I'm just going to use the black Posca pen, and then we can just add a bit more detail in here. So let's just draw in some extra sort of leafy bits and cover up that bit of the skull that I didn't do very well, and add some extra bits there. And I think we need some extra bits down by this tree here and down this side. And let's do some sort of path coming down here. So let's just do that, and then the same that side. And then I think we need some more bushes down here, fill in that space. Okay. Let's do a bit more down in this corner. Right. I think we need to add a bit more in here, maybe just roughly like that, and then just add some more bushes down this bit. There. How's that looking? Yes, quite pleased with that. Right, okay, so I'm just going to see if I've got a finer nib. Let me just see if I can do it with this one. Just sort of fill in those blank areas a little bit. Just highlight some of those bits that are a bit faint. Join that one up. I'll disguise that a little bit. Okay, that's looking a bit better. Right, okay, so let's leave this to dry now, and then we can paint it. This is all ready to paint now, and off camera I did add a couple of extra bits. I added a little crow on top of the tombstone there, and I've added some bats over there and over there. So to paint it, I'm just going to use this watercolour set that I got from Amazon. I don't think it's even got a brand. I think it's just a basic cheap set. So I think I'll start by doing a little glowy moon over here. And while I'm just painting this, I just mentioned that today's video is part of the 31 days of Halloween that's been arranged by the lovely Alison at Stressful Mum Paints, and it's also part of the Saturday friendship train. So I think I'm just going to carry on painting this. Shall I pop you on a fast forward while I do this, and then you can listen to some music? I'm just going to do a sort of purpley grey blacky background, and then just do the foreground in some browns and greys. So I'll see you back in a minute. Right, so I think that's all done for the painting. So I think I'm going to let this dry now, and then give it a top coat of some resin. So I'll be back in a little while once I've mixed up some resin. I've mixed up a small amount of Let's Resin 1:1 epoxy, and I'm just going to add to that some of the Super Sparkle White from Tracy at Mini Scenes GB, and this is the 80 mesh. So I'm just going to get that mixed in. Not too concerned about the bubbles because it's only going to be a thin coat, and I can pop those with a torch. So let's get this poured on. Doesn't need to be a lot, just a thin coat. I'll see how much that goes. So I'm just going to work this all the way to the edges. Sorry about the wind in the background, it's blowing a hoolie here today. Right, I think it does need some more. So let's just use the majority of that. Oh, can't lift it up now. There you go. Right, and just carry on taking that all the way to the edges. I think we're nearly there. Right, I think that's all the edges covered. Oh no, I think that top right hand corner needs some. Let's just add a bit more there. That will do. And then work that to the edge. Let's just give that bit a little helping hand there. Right, okay, so just just going to leave this to cure now, and then I'll see you back when this is finished. Well, this didn't go quite to plan. As you can see, all the pen stuff that I did in the Posca pen has stayed really black, and everything that I did with the stamps has gone really faded. So I'm not really sure what to make of that. I'm not sure whether to use a fine black pen and then just go over the top of the resin with the pen and outline it. I don't know, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments, what would you do? Would you go over the top of it with some pen? Well, that's my finished piece. So thank you ever so much for watching my video today, and both the playlists for the two collabs will be in my description box, so feel free to have a good old binge watch, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.